how much is just the right amount of aggression, and how best to portray that without making people insecure. When you look back at your journey, what would be 2 to 3 key decision points that significantly accelerated or transformed your career journey? And was there anything in common between these? You've got some solid, heavy questions.
Yeah, really. So the bit about the career journey and the decisions that I feel were crucial landmarks in my journey, I'll talk about separately. Now, this is a fine line. Be conscious of the fact that you may have labels being attached to you, because not everyone is happy, not everyone is supportive of successful women, so don't worry about those labels, but make sure, and this again is general advice, men or women, which is that we have to be respectful. In being respectful does not mean that I come across as being a softie, or that I come across as being very timid, or I'm someone who allows myself to get cut off in a conversation again and again. It's about how you carry yourself. There are people who enter the room and they haven't spoken a word. That woman enters the room and the whole room feels compelled to turn around and look and say, who's come? Can we become a person like that? That comes from absolute self-awareness. It comes from confidence. It comes from knowing that I am someone who matters. My opinion matters. So speak respectfully and speak with assertion. Speak knowing that what you have to contribute matters. And make sure whatever it is that you have to say in whatever forum is voiced. Don't ever be intimidated only by the fact that, oh, on this call, I have all of my bosses. Very recently, I had a conversation with, and I was actually prepared to have a one on one with the CEO of the company. And quite unexpectedly, he pulled in all his functional heads, and suddenly there were more than 20 people on the call. And I was on the other side making a presentation. I was thinking, gosh, I wasn't prepared actually to have all of these people on the call, and they all had conflicting opinions. And then he went around for everything that I presented. He went around from person to person taking this democratic feedback on what each felt of what I had presented. And I'm sitting over there and thinking, this I hadn't prepared for. I was thinking I'm going to be presenting one on one to this one man. But in that scenario, where you are able to show with respect and with sincerity that, look, I've heard you. I may not necessarily agree with you, but I'm hearing you and I understand that here is another point of view as well, and just park it there. And you express what you have to express, again, with assertion and sincerity, you're good. So that was the first part. Now, in terms of my own career, there were several, points in my career which were really tough. But I want to tell you, many times through our career, um, we actually land great opportunities. But what matters is when you've got that opportunity, do you take it by its horns and make sure you shine? Because that opportunity, it could be something that you really wanted. It could be something that you thought, or you realize, or if you sit back and think about it, is this a job that many other girls would want to have? Would there be many other girls who'd instead be where you are today? If you were to think of that and tell yourselves, for whatever I have right now, I will give it my best and shine over here, because I can tell you there is absolutely nothing called a perfect job. So, I was early on in my career when I was working with Henkel. I was working on a brand called Far, and it was my first marketing job. Now, marketing, one would think, is necessarily about spending money. There has to be something that I spend in order to be able to create awareness, in order to be able to do something that can make a tangible difference to the brand. But we had no money to spend. It was a brand that had absolutely zero monies. And it was my first marketing job. So what would I do? And fortunately, I had a very, very supportive boss. And because I was very young, I told myself, I'm just going to play with data. And of course, we did sponsor Fa Femina Miss India, but apart from that, there was really nothing much to do. So what I did do of that job was I played with data, and I we had this challenge in the organization where it was heavily sales driven, and the whole organization was focused on selling detergents. We were basically a detergents company, and Fa was one of the only women's personal care brand, and detergents are sold by the kilo and by sacks. And here we were, deodorants which are sold by piece. दुकानदार को जाके पूछो कितने पीस आपको चाहिए, अब कितने पीस आपको चाहिए वो सेल्स वाला बंदा बोल ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि he is not accustomed to selling like that. So all I did was to play with data and make sales guys aware, आपने इतना बेचा, उनको पता ही नहीं था. And that is all I did as a young brand manager. I was presenting to the different sales guys, on the far list of who are the top rankers. This is where you stand. This is where you stand. And then I started this thing internally called the armpit war. What is the armpit war? It was nothing. It was just basically pitting the various sales guys against each other and saying, this month Sandeep Sharma is the winner of the armpit war, and then circulating that all over to the company. My point I'm making is that you may not have the perfect job. Even now, some of the women who I mentor, they tell me about how difficult their current jobs are, or how difficult my current boss is, and I'm not able to find another job. And I tell them, look, be grateful for what you have just now, and work around whatever challenges you have. Make sure you have something that's worth putting down on your resume before you move on to the next job. There will be chances in your career that you will get, and you have to make the most of that. There was another situation in my career when I was on Kurkure. I landed the Kurkure category head job in March 2014. And that year, we won the President's Award for the category that was the fastest growing. So we were the poster child of the company. And soon after, the company took certain decisions, because of which we suddenly tanked to 20% decline. Now, Kurkure is it's the biggest volume and revenue earner for the company. And when you see a 20% decline on a brand that size, it means that a whole lot of people, almost the entire sales team, will not get their incentives and bonuses for the year. And that is a big chunk of their income, which means that you are actually earning the wrath of a huge part of the organization. In fact, it affects the entire organization. So quite suddenly, from becoming the poster child of the company, we became the bad boys, or the bad team, the underperforming team. कुरकुरे का कुछ नहीं हो सकता, ये तो खिसकता ही जाता है, ये तो डिक्लाइन ही होता जा रहा है, समझ नहीं आ रहा क्यों डिक्लाइन हो रहा है, ये डिक्लाइन ही होता जा रहा है. And we had that for 2.5 consecutive years. So after about 3.5 years, when I was feeling like, I'm so fed up of listening to crap from everybody in the organization, anything that we did met with I don't think this will work, we're not so sure, why don't we put this money on Lay's instead? Do we really have to invest behind a brand that's already tanking? In that scenario, my boss actually offered me the job to move on to another category. It was a Lay's category head job. And I also had the option of moving on to Pepsi as the category head. And said, you've done long enough on Kurkure. It's already been 3.5 years, you can move. And I said, no, I don't want to move, because I wouldn't feel good about moving at this time. I want to make sure that this brand turns around. So I'm going to give it another year and a half at least, and see where I can get. because I knew if I moved at that time, it would be terrible for my confidence. I'd feel like I've let my own self down. So I chose to stay. And we relaunched the brand yet again, which was our second relaunch. It was a second attempt to resurrect the brand. And then we were able to get it right. I mean, we did a whole lot of stuff. We revamped the formulation, the proposition, the way we spoke with sales. We did a whole lot of things, a whole battery of stuff that we did. But then we became the global case study. Then we became, we were the team that was flaunted to the entire world on how we went from 20% decline, we went back up to 20% growth. So don't worry about the times that are tough. Raise your hand for the tough challenges. You will also be seen as someone who has confidence in yourself.